Yo, what up? It's your boy Tdubtv. We are here live. Finally, season 3 of The Flash is back. Before we get to the recap reaction, give me some pow. Give me some pow. It is back. I'm telling you, I have been anticipating this. What did you guys think? I mean, did it live up to the hype? Was it what you expected? You know what? I guess there were so many snippets that was leaked. It kind of told most of the story, but there still was some good things that was in there. My overall impression, good job. I will give it a good job. Also, at the very end of this recap, if I can remember, is to tell you my overall thoughts on what I think should have happened or where they're going to go from here, and so on. All right, so let's just start with Barry Allen, a.k.a. The Flash. The guy is happy. He got his family back. He saved his mother. They go back in time. They show him throwing those big punches. Boom, hitting the reverse flash. Boom, a feel-good moment. I honestly wasn't satisfied. I wanted him to go full E Honda on this guy. Just rapid, really fast punches and give it to him. Either way, he's feeling good. He has his parent back. You can tell that his whole thing was, it was about himself. He was doing something that was selfish. It was for himself, and he really didn't take the time to think about how it would impact other people. But when you have emotions, even in real life, you do some things because of how you feel and then the consequences. So if that was you and you had a chance to save your parents, would you go back and do what he did? I mean, that's a huge question. Let me know. Subscribe, thumbs up, share. But another big thing that played a role throughout this episode and the trailer was the Reverse Flash. Once again, the Reverse Flash, he's teaching him, educating Barry. Still, no matter what form the Harrison Wells or the Reverse Flash, he is like a mentor, a guide to get Barry on the right path and answer questions when he couldn't answer them himself. And he has the Reverse Flash trapped in his cage where he can't use his powers. And Flash, every time he uses speed, which Reverse Flash told him, every time you use it, you lose it. Basically, every time you speed up, you lose a memory. And we saw throughout this episode, every time he tried to remember something, always in there, oh, I remember that. It erased, it erased, it erased. And I was thinking throughout this episode, like, man, this timeline, this kept going long because, you know, there was some reports where he was using his speed or just talking in conversation and he would just faint and go out. All right, so we got Wally West is Kid Flash or Flash of that time. Yeah, Flash finally reveals himself. He went and snatches everybody up that's in his old gang, get them all together. And the crazy thing about it, even though they all have different lives and really not all that fond of each other or don't even know each other, they find a way to still click up. So I guess even in different timelines, that group is meant to be. Well, anyway, you know, you see Flash kind of taking charge. One thing that I know that had to hurt Wally was instantly Iris was all about Barry. Yes, she felt some love and a connection. Like, even though the timelines changed, she still felt the connection that made her feel whole. And even when Barry first approached her, you know, back in the cafe or whatever, you know, it even made me smile, the little things he was doing to try to get next to her. But she put Wally down so quick, like, listen to Barry, he's the Flash, you know? You only know this guy been the Flash for, you know, I don't know, 10 seconds at that time, but you're like, he's the Flash. Yeah, you're more like Kid Flash, you know? And Wally didn't like this, so, but either way, you know, I like the way that Barry wanted to team up Wally. We saw how Wally had the big head, and he did not want to do the flanking. He wanted to take on the guy by himself. And he was doing very well, but he turned his back and caught a pole through the back that came out the front. Well, you know what, Barry Allen's, you know, I'm not going to go into detail. You know, Barry put the bets on this guy. You know, he stops his tornadoes, he spins, and he hits him, he lands a big shot. But why don't you learn? Why are you turning your back to these guys? Okay, do you not remember what happened to Zoom? All that talking and turning your back. All right, did you not just see what happened to Wally West? Listen, I'm talking to you, Flash. Even the actor that plays Flash. You better go to them writers and tell them, stop making you do stuff like that, okay? Give me some pound on this shit. All right, so Barry turns his back, and you see Rival get up, about to give him the business now, thinking everything is done, and you hear the This reminded me of the animated movie Flashpoint when Batman shot the Reverse Flash. For a minute, I'm like, oh, is it Batman? No, it wasn't. It was Joe there to save the day. But you know what? Thinking about it right now, Joe really did play somewhat of that role because Batman in that movie, he was more of a drinker. You know, this was I can't think. I think it was Thomas Wayne. He was more of a drinker. He actually killed people. And in this one, Joe was a drinker. You know, he was going through some things, and he killed him. So now we get to the point that Flash goes back and he gets Reverse Flash, and let's just skip to it. He takes him back in time to kill his mom. Is that not the hardest thing to do? You saw your mom die 2 times. Now is it 3 times? And you can tell when Reverse Flash was there, this guy took joy in it. It's like a mad killer. Somebody to have a victim title somewhere, and you know you're finna have all the fun, the torture, all over again. And he kills her. Takes Flash with his limping self back to the spot he originally left from season 2, and come to find out that Iris is not cool or friends with Joe. Things are not fixed. How many timelines are there going to be? Are they going to stick with this one for a while? Is Barry going to try to go back in time and change it? Honestly, I think, in my personal opinion, it may not work. I mean, let me know. Send me a message, comment, text, do something. If he goes back, when the one Flash that went back at the end of season 2 and intercept him before he stops the Reverse Flash, I think that could solve it, but I don't know. It's your boy Tdubtv. I just want to get a quick video out there, let you guys know I'm really big on Flash. This is one of my top shows. Tdubtv. Share, like, Halloween outro.